Hello, everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon, and we're back today for another episode of Zweihander Blackhearts. And man, are we excited to get into it today? We're all very prepared here. So let's get into it. Let's go around the custom crew, remind ourselves who we are and who we're playing. Let's start with Doxy. Doxy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. I'm Persephone. She's an asshole. Also a magic user, kind of a support character, also known as Bangers, also known as Hilda, also known as the life of the party. But that last part's a lie.
What percentage are you this week?
Okay, she's softening to a few people, so I'll say we're 20% witch, 80% bitch.
Wow. That's progress. That's character development. Every episode we get a little closer. Oh boy. We have Ruben back with us today. Ruben, how's it going, my friend?
I am doing very well. How about yourself?
I am excellent. I am very excited to play today.
As am I. Hi, everybody. I play Nicholas Rattenberry, the human bravo of this here party. Frontline fighter. You know, takes a licking, keeps on ticking kind of style. Hopefully doesn't take too bad of a beating, either in combat or in discussions with his party members that are softening to him a little bit. And yeah, excited to explore more of civilized society after a bit of a hike into the haunted forest for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely time to get back to the finer things in life here in Einem, I think. Excellent. And we have Lydia back with us today. Lydia, how's it going?
Going good. How about you?
Pretty fucking incredible, as I always am. Thank you for asking.
I'm like always the third person to ask, and I just
Sure.
can't help. Anyway.
we're just checking on you because it looks like you have tentacles springing out of your head based on where the art is hanging behind you.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm always worried about your well-being, Will. Anyways, I'm Lydia playing Polaris. She's an elf astrologer. Super interested in when you were born, what time of day it was, what season it was. Everything.
Yes.
Tell me your sign.
All of those things, which are very important and scientifically driven. But in this game, like, kind of
scientifically driven, yes.
In this game, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. In a world of fantasy and imagination, star signs come true. Yeah, fantastic. Speedy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Will?
Well, I was okay.
Right.
Will, I feel like you're just saying you're great. You know, I think we all really want to know.
What's wrong with you, man? Who hurt you?
You're actually checking in, yeah.
Yeah.
Live on stream, we have an intervention with William.
Every time I say that I'm fine, it's really just a plea for help.
I believe it. I'm doing good. I am Speedy. You can find me wherever is not so speedruns. I am playing as Charlie Barber, your local barber surgeon. Quick with a leech, quick with a blade, shave, haircut, surgery, whatever it is that you so desire.
Sorry.
Sounds a bit like Charlie's Tinder profile.
Okay. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's
ready for any surgery you need.
Yep.
Fantastic. Yeah, well,
we
don't have Emmett. I've never been.
What are those
Tinder.
leashes for? You don't want to know.
I assume that's what. I mean, that's what I would look for if I were on Tinder. I would look for that in someone's bio. So. I'm a simple man.
In this world, that's just you're looking for the person you're going to light a flame on Tinder. It's for burning witches mostly. But yeah, I'm excited to be back. Excited to see what happens here as we've started to warm up to each other a little bit more, reveal some secrets, poorly hide some others, and uncover the truth of this blood plague.
Yeah. Well, yes, as you mentioned, we don't have Emmett, we don't have Kimmy with us, but I'll be back with us next week, so don't worry. The adventure continues with these fine folks. And I'll get to a quick reminder of what happened last week on the show before I tell you guys about our sponsors today, Zweihander. Pretty exciting news for Zweihander at the moment. The most recent development from the Grim Perilous Studios is that Main Gauche is out, which is a supplement for Zweihander. It's almost 400 pages long. It's got 68 new professions. You can become an occultist. You can become a demon worshipper. You can make soul-altering pacts for demonic gifts.
You can be a blitzballer.
Yeah,
you can be
awesome.
a professional athlete.
Yeah, and there's also some rules in there for making your own NPCs, making your own monsters, demons, that kind of thing in this book. So it's a really fantastic expansion onto what Zweihander laid out. If you want to check it out, it's on sale right now on Drive-Thru RPG. Normally it's £16, I think, and right now it is like £6. So if you want to go and check that out, you want to go grab it. 400 pages. You're going to be reading for the next couple of weeks through a pretty awesome book that will go alongside your copies of Zweihander that we've been playing through and really enjoying here for the past 2 weeks. Of course, it's that grim and perilous dark fantasy role-playing game based on a D100 system, and we'll be getting into some more mechanics each and every week, so look forward to that. And of course, our regular sponsors include fantasygrounds.com, our virtual tabletop of choice. You can go check out those guys over there. You can download their demo version on Steam or via their website. You can go to winandgames.co.uk and you can get up to 20% off all the tabletop war games, board games, and more that they sell over there. Last but not least, when we hit 20 retweets at this tweet here, we'll give away another set of tabletop loot dice to you guys there in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to get in on the giveaways and watching the live show, we're here every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, so you can enjoy Friday evenings of us in a grim and perilous world. A recap then of what happened last time on the show, as we had the library episode, which seems like it would be really chill and just hanging out reading books, but it was kind of intense. They met a kind of weird librarian who's named himself Librarian, but they decided to call Dewey. And he had a bunch of books around on some very interesting topics that they were looking to learn about, to learn more about this Adarian figure who's the heartless man who's been organizing these strange creatures of sinew and strife, and apparently there's a castle nearby where he's building an army of these plagued creatures and people. So kind of worried about that. They're trying to look into that situation, but they figured going to a castle alone, just with this group of investigators, is probably a death sentence. If there are more of these masked men around, they've already been in some pretty dicey fights of them, where they got some near-death situations. Probably best to get some other folks to come with them on an expedition to at least just scour the castle in the future. So they decided, spending the night at the library, about learning a bunch of different materials, some magical, some historical, some just rumors. They decided to head back to the city of Einem, which they're based at the moment, to follow up on some of their leads. They got a bunch of leads to follow after their investigation along the river. They've got a strange talisman they can look into. They've got some books that they might want to talk to other NPCs they met before. They know that Marcus Viridian, who's the rich moneylender, has a bunch of guards, so maybe they want to go and talk to him about getting some guards to come with them to find this castle. And then they have this symbol of the Emperor, which is found on the now dead man Marion's boat, which is worth taking a look into. And of course, Dr. Phineas has a question or two to answer after it turns out that Dewey, the librarian, told them that Dr. Phineas had lent them, or had stolen, really, I guess, a book from Dewey on the murder of crows, a strange religious group who the party are like semi-working for one of them. Her name is the Princess of Red Carnage, and they want to learn a little more about her and about Dr. Phineas, seeing as it seems like he has withheld some information from them in their first meeting. So we're going to pick back up with you guys back at Einem. You took a trek down the river. So it's been the rest of the day on the river. By the time you get into the city of Einem again, back onto the docks, onto the wharf, and you spot Pat and his fisherman friends, who you took Marion's boat from, or lent it out for the day, I guess. They're packing up for the day, and rest of the city seems to be heading to bed or to whatever evening activities there are to be had in Einem. So by the time you get in, it's about 8 p.m. So not too late as to not do anything, but certainly it has been a long day out on the river on the boat for you guys. So you can moor the boat up, give it back to the fishermen and the like. they're more than willing to let you lend the boat again in the future if you want to. And you'll sort of set down. We'll pick up with you guys sort of on the wharf, having gotten off the boat and having a bunch of leads to follow. So, is there anything you guys would like to kick off doing this afternoon, evening in Einem?
It seems we'll let Tomb deal with the fisher folk. He seems to be the interface there with Pete and company. I'm sure that they have lots of...
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I think Danny would probably have to speak with Sir Patrick Chapmeyer as well, seeing as that was what he wanted to follow. So she'll probably head off there and gather some information for the episode. She has the book on. Let me go through my notes here. We have lots of books. We have Adarian's Diary, which is the most relevant of the books, that has lots of information pertaining to someone called Garrow, and lots of information on the Shattering, quote-unquote true magic, and the Witch's Spine. We were going to... So Danny is going to go talk to Sir Patrick about that. And we don't know who Garrow is, or if he's in town, or any of that, but we're going to look for whoever that is. The other lead that was pretty obvious to go follow is you're going to go visit your buddy Dr. Phineas on his late fees for his library book about the murder of crows. Let's see what else we got here. The symbol of... in case you wanted to see him this evening.
I'm sorry?
You know that the dock works late as well, so if you wanted to see him this evening, you know where he lives and works.
See who? Oh, the doctor. Because you said you were parked at the docks, and then you said the dock, and I was confused.
Oh, yeah. That's confusing.
And also Zero Doxy.
Too many doxes.
So we also have...
docks.
Right, there you go. We also have the symbol of the Emperor that has a bunch of blood on it. We were going to take that to Mother Paulina, question mark?
I think so.
Was that the plan, Polaris?
Was the information on the talisman shared with everyone? I forgot.
No.
Persephone was hiding it at first.
Yeah, so the information on the talisman is shared with Charlie and the magic users. Of the four of us, I do not know that information.
Cool.
And also the two players who are not here do not know that information either. That is different. The talisman of the Shattering is different than the symbol of the Emperor, remember, which we found in the cabin of the boat when we were doing a Sherlock adventure looking for clues down in the basement, and we found one in the form of a blood-covered symbol of the Emperor, which that was found before we went to the library, but we were going to take to Mother Paulina, theoretically, to try to figure out what that is, and perhaps gain another connection in the power structure of Einem. Talk to somebody in charge, maybe a mayor, maybe somebody who sits on city council, something like that. And then I was going to go visit Marcus Viridian, possibly with Tomb, possibly not, to go check in on his situation. I don't know how open to communication he's going to be with me, but I have information that he'd be interested in, I think. So if we're interested in a shakedown kind of situation, I can do that. But we got lots of leads to go on. I've also got these garbage novels, if anybody wants some light reading for His Missing Gorilla.
I already have my, this world's
you have
50 Shades, so I'm good.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't you have that, Elven smut book, too?
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have the Elven smut book. Someone also has Lies Told by Our Parents, Volume 2, which is on the Elvish genocide that might be relevant at some point.
Okay, the books that I have Comprehensive Languages of Penumbra. I don't have the diary anymore. I gave that to Charlie. I have Dwarvish Alchemy, A Misunderstood Science. And those are the books that I have.
Got it.
That's
I
the
thought I
end
had the.
of the
I thought
list.
I had the diary since since I'm the only one that knows Elvish other than Tomb.
Okay.
But he set it on fire.
You might have it. I know that I gave it to
Yeah.
Charlie. Charlie may have given it to you.
And
yeah,
then,
if it's an Elvish, I have no reason to carry it. So
Yeah.
what
I think
books
I
do
have.
you have, Charlie? By the way,
I have medical books. I have books on
got it.
all the medicine of the world. Just a collection of textbooks, basically. That I'm slowly.
Oh, I also learned a new spell. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just so excited about it. I can't wait till you guys see it in action.
What's? Do you want to tell us what spell you have, or no?
Nope. I'm probably way more excited about it than is justifiable, but I'm very excited about it.
So someone has, I think Tomb probably has the book on the Elvish genocide. I think he was reading up on that. And then I have the Vampires and Goblins book. So we have lots of reading to go through over the next
I have
couple
the
days.
Astral
But for
Sea
right-
book.
Oh, that's right. You also have the Mysteries of the Astral Sea. Right. The Mysterious Astral Sea.
That's right.
So we have lots of books to
All
go
right.
read, but our missions in town are Dr. Phineas, Sir Patrick, Marcus Viridian, Mother Paulina, and hopefully one of those leads to someone named Garrow at some point. Also, we need more money because we're about to run out of free hotel supplied by the Blackhearts. So we got to go do some jobs at some point. I might be able to blackmail Marcus, which would be kind of great, kind of an interesting way to make money, based on the information that we learned in the woods and how frightened he is of ghosts, and we could do something there. He's got a lot of money. He's a debt collector, and if we can say that we can protect him and we're the only ones that can protect him, that's a lot of money coming to us if we're a private security.
So
Makes sense.
Persephone
Also-
works for MASH, so I don't
Right.
know what her room and board situation would be.
Yeah, you're probably
Yeah, what-
covered. We can probably
Yeah.
look up how much you earn actually as well.
Okay.
I would imagine MASH probably just gives you free room and board anyway.
Yeah, he's pretty kind.
I think that
So-
Polaris could probably just read people's like star signs and do some like sweet magic.
Yeah.
I've got a license to perform medicine in this city now,
Right.
so
Of the four of
That's
us,
the thing I
I'm the one who doesn't have a doctorate. So I would need to go. I would need to go out and do some manual labor of one
I
kind
would-
or another.
I'd forge some papers for you.
Sure. I don't want to be performing surgery with a forged license, though. But yeah, I could
It'd have
certainly.
to be
And
surgery.
Persephone
But
really wants you to.
No, that's fair. What kind of job could I do? Well, the best
Something
stuff that I know how to do is numbers-based operation. So
Perfect, you're an accountant.
So I could be an accountant.
you are Nick Rattenberry, CPA.
I could do that very easily. Or if we need money quick, I mean, there is the very lucrative business of blackmail, the very lucrative business of con manning, and the sometimes lucrative business of gambling.
If you make
but
it,
I do,
if you do stuff like that, Persephone is going to be very interested in going with you.
okay. So maybe one of us, and certainly the gambling will provide us with more scuttlebutt on the street. We might be able to get some names in some places sitting at
Oh
the
no,
table.
she only wants
with-
to go with you for the mean stuff.
No, I understand.
Okay.
I'm saying that the mean stuff often takes place at the place where there's illicit activity as well.
Fair.
So the people that we run into while doing the mean stuff might also have a line on where this Garrow character is. So
I don't know what to do. I don't know exactly what next steps are for each of us, but I would really like to get this eye taken care of. And
Yes.
it's really hard to operate on yourself in a mirror, at least on an eye.
Yeah. I understand. So I think that
Phineas is my
you're
first
welcome.
stop.
Yeah, I think Phineas is the first stop for a number of reasons. For
I first,
the doctor
then
visit.
questions.
Yeah, agreed. Do we all want to go?
I can take Charlie to the doctor.
Yeah, I miss MASH. I'm gonna go work.
Okay.
I'll take Charlie and look after him if you want to do whatever business you know how to do.
Works for me.
I trust
That
the
does not
players
require
patched.
papers.
protect
Yep,
me if
get
need
patched
be.
up, guy.
All right,
Cool.
Okay.
let's go see a doctor.
Okay, so so the two of you then can head over to Dr. Phineas's, I guess, workshop, really. The little boy Tommy's sort of like secretary / running errands recognizes the two of you as you come in, and he looks up. Hey, I remember you.
Hello again. Is Dr. Phineas in?
Yes, but I don't think he's expecting you.
Well, as you can see, I'm in need of a bit of help, and I think I have some information for him as well.
Whoa, what happened? Did you get in a fight?
You could say that.
Okay, I'll ask him. And he runs inside, comes out a few minutes later, and says, "Okay, he's ready now."
All right.
He opens the
thank
door
you.
for you. Yeah, you see the gaunt, tall Dr. Phineas in his sort of physician's kit, I guess, and he's just cleaning up some of his tools on the side of his bench. And turns around to see you. Ah, welcome in. Wasn't expecting you. What happened? He looks at your eye.
That is a tale. We went down the river, looking into that strange mold and washed up sailor.
Well, let me see to it. Nothing we can't handle. He sets to sort of making a little poultice, and then he sort of dabs it into a cloth and says, hold this onto your eye for a little while. It'll clear up in the next few hours, I'm sure. So, what did you find out there, aside from a fist fight?
More trouble than quite anticipated, really. Masks.
Okay.
Piece of blood and sinew. Once again.
You all survived, or is it just the two of you returning?
We all survived. I was, in fact, the only one who really got hurt. Can't say it's not my own fault. Rushed in. Perhaps not quite prepared.
See.
But we found a library. An old one, owned by what was his name? The Heartless Man.
Oh.
A man.
Didn't realize there was a library out in the wilds.
You wouldn't expect it.
No.
No, you wouldn't.
It seems that these creatures, the same ones we saw in Arkenberry Forest, same ones we were saved from by the crow are minions of this heartless man. A man who lost his way and sacrificed himself to in power or control.
I see.
Very well might be responsible for the plague.
Right. Well, that's something at least.
Is there anything
if this... Mhm.
Is there anything you can make of that? Any of that sound familiar?
Don't think I've ever heard of a heartless man. But if this
What was his real
person
name?
is...
I would say that too.
His name is Adarian, yeah.
Adarian.
Yeah, he shakes his head. I've not heard of an Adarian before, but if we could find him and put a stop to his madness, then that perhaps Einem has a chance at not sharing the same fate as Ostwald. Do you have
I
any
would
leads?
like to roll something.
Yeah.
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 I was just getting ready.
I would like to roll a scrutinize.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
scrutinize him. Hit her with the scroots.
That is a
I kept
30
trying to come
score,
up.
which is below my scrutinize score of 49. So that is a
Yeah.
success.
He's hiding something from you. But you do get the sense that he means it when he says that he would like to help stop him, but he's also, his demeanor is somewhat nervous, and he's not making a whole lot of eye contact.
It's very obvious that he's lying about not knowing about the library. Does he seem to know anything about a Darien in particular?
There's no flicker of
or-
recognition in his eyes when you say that name.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he seems
Dr.
honest when he says that he wants to stop the plague, though.
Yes,
Okay.
you would say so.
Okay.
Is Dr. Phineas a human?
He is. Yeah, one in his 50s.
In his 50s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doctor, I hate to scrutinize you as such, but I have to admit I don't quite like it when people aren't honest with me.
Not sure what you mean.
Well, you said before last time we spoke that there wasn't all that much that was known about the crows. That you
It's
weren't.
true.
I suppose that's true in general. But you also said just now that you've never heard of a library south on the river. We happened to meet a librarian there. He seemed to mention that there was a book that was overdue.
I see. Well, you must understand my caution. Met once before, and well, there are some people who, if I were to be found in possession of this book, of books like this, that I would be shortly finding my way towards the noose. But yes, I have a book on the crows. I keep it secret and I keep it locked away. I haven't told anyone about it. But I suppose you must have met the librarian there. He's a good fellow, if something of a strange one. I suppose I should offer you an explanation. I was there several years ago now, maybe 4. Found myself out there. Found a library. Met with the librarian. Told him of my interests in the crows. Told him that I was looking for a book on them. He gave it to me straight away. And that was when, bursting in through the doors, came these men, creatures with masks sewn onto their faces. I hid, had the book, ran. I heard a conversation, some of them, talking to the librarian. One of them might have said the name that you just spoke now, a Darian. And there was another, a Victor. Yes. Well, I ran. I took the book with me and I came back here, locked it away. Every so often, when I build up the courage to return, I try and take a barge down there, but every time I turn back, either I chicken out and turn around, or I see one of them, those masked men hanging outside the library, and I turn back. I have tried to return the book. Keeping it here is foolishness. It's only a matter of time before someone finds out. And then that'll be the end. So, yes, I do know of the library, and I'm sorry for having lied to you, but you can understand that possessing such a book is not a wise thing to do, and certainly a less wise thing to admit to.
Well, allow me to ease you of your burden, then. I, too, wish to know about the crows. And I've gone to the library once and come back. Intend to return at some point. I have my own books to return. And I don't particularly like being a thief.
Very well. You're a braver person than I am. Feel free to take it, but if you're found with it, then you didn't get it from me. And he goes into a cabinet in his desk, gets out a silver key, unlocks it, and pulls out this heavy, dark tome with no title on it, which he places on the desk. And I've read it once or twice. It's interesting, but dangerous. Very dangerous, so be careful with it and when reading it. There are some things that aren't meant to be read, or aren't meant to be known, I think.
I'll keep that in mind. I have another question.
Yes.
You said that you went to the library and you asked for a book on the crows, and I only have to wonder, how did you find yourself there, and why? What sparked your interest in the crows in the first place?
Well, since I was a young lad, I grew up in an orphanage of sorts, I suppose you could say, but it was in a church. I understand lots of the Emperor's churches function as orphanages for children here in the city. There was a father there, a priest, who would beat the children bloody. An awful man, in truth. When he died, I went to see the grave just to laugh. I've never found myself a devout person, at least not with the preachings of the church, though that's not something you can admit to in open company. So I, like many others, was looking for answers. I was a young man. So I heard of the crows, that they used to have a following before the Emperor had come. Started asking everywhere. I think I must have been in the back room of some tavern, paying someone for some information when they gave me the location of an ancient library lost in the woods. Nothing more than a story. But I went. And that's when I found it. So, that's why I'm interested. Though I have to say I never really found the answers that I was looking for.
A shame. I hope I can find more than you did.
I hope so as well. Is there anything else? Truly, if I can help with whatever this plague comes from, or whoever makes it, I would see to their end, so that the city may be safe and not suffer the same fate as Ostwald.
I appreciate that. I can tell you're a good man despite the initial distrust. I can't say I have a good reason to be trusted either. Neither of us.
My life is in your hands.
And mine and yours.
Suppose that's true. This Adarian figure, have you learned anything more of him, of his plans? What is he doing out there?
It's, Polaris was the one who read his diary. She would know more.
I still have it, and I'm still going through it, just so much of it is rubbed off now. It's so old.
Do you mind if I take a look?
It's in Elvish.
It's no bother.
Okay. I would give it to him to look at.
Yeah, he sits down and spends maybe 20 minutes in silence poring over the old pages, and then sort of looks up from his glasses and says, well, he's clearly gone quite mad. Towards the end here, you can see that these pages aren't so old, though. Towards the end of the passage, he's writing relatively recently. It seems that this master of his, Garrow, he met somewhere along the way, but now he's turned against him, seeking to create his own vision of penumbra, of this plague. It seems clear to me that he is creating these masked men. Mentions here something in the margin. Look, he points to something in the margin of a page, some scribbling. This here seems to be some kind of spell. I can't see components or what verse, but it's most clearly a way to create these masks. Whatever they are or do. You know, there's a castle out there. I remember seeing it when I was down the library. I'd gone too far north. This old castle half fallen into the marsh and the bog. I saw many masked men there. Could it be that these are the bearers of this plague that we've witnessed? You were in Ostwald, weren't you?
Yes.
Yes. Could it be that these creatures are the heralds, harbingers of this destruction? You've seen them closer than I have.
We didn't quite see them in Ostwald before the city went, as it were. But
we didn't see them until we were outside of the city.
But certainly that castle is connected. I know the Heartless Man, he didn't want us to go there. He said we would die, which in some ways was a generous warning, but in truth, I think that there's something there that if we go there, I'm certain we'll find the root of it.
I'm
but we're not
starting to think you might be correct there, son. Yes. But strength certainly is something you'll need to hit a dare. Let me look. The name of the castle will help. He goes into some books that he has on his desk and thumbs through them for the next 15 minutes before exclaiming, "Ah, here it is. Castle Jumaya. Yeah. The name for it in fancy grounds. Yes. An old castle. Probably now, last I saw it, fallen into the bog. But still the stone walls stand. It says here that the keep was capable of holding several hundred soldiers at any given time. So if at least some of it stands, and this Adarian could be creating a force several hundred strong.
Far too many for us.
Not enough to take the city, though. Let us consider this. If you are this Adarian figure, you've been trying to create the plague. The plague's purpose is to overcome cities and towns, correct? Kill the population, but first the plague comes. Everyone is weakened. People start dying. Guards start dying. Soldiers as well. Everyone becomes infected. The city is weakened. And then you send in your strike force, these masked hounds, and they did the bloody work of spreading the plague on a night of bloodshed and strife, like the ones that you were at in Ostwald. The fungus that Marion had. What if that is the precursor to an invasion? The plague comes first, weakens the city's defenses, and then we send in these hounds. If that's the case, and that's just a theory, then we should expect an infection to hit the city before these creatures do. Perhaps if we had enough time, and you could get to that castle with enough support, it could be stopped before the plague reached Eindhoven.
We have to, but we can try and rally a force. We can't take on an army. Not the two of us, not the five of us. 6. But we'd have to get support. I've only just arrived in town. Polaris is the most respectable of us, and I don't know if that's enough still to garner an army to take on a castle full of plague hounds, or even for anyone to believe us, really.
That's true enough.
I don't think it's enough.
Then, if a frontal assault is not an option, then perhaps a smaller group able to get inside unseen. I'm no tactician or general.
The castle is called Dumaya. Was it
Yes.
controlled at one point by the noble families who live here?
The Chapmires. Yes.
You think
They're an
they-
old lineage, fell into the swamp. The castle fell. They moved into Wynham and they've been ruling ever since. Sir Patrick Chapmire is the young knight of the city. His father runs the city itself, but he's much more of a poet than he is a fighter.
Man, if only we knew Patrick Chapmire.
If only.
Lord
Good
Philippe
to know.
Chapmire is the lord of the city, and I suppose technically still owns the castle, though no one goes there anymore.
Perhaps they have some more information on it. A back door. Hidden keep. Perhaps they'd be interested in
Perhaps.
reclaiming their old home.
Maybe the son is fond of quests for glory and the like, so maybe there's an angle there.
Perhaps. Do they seem trustworthy? I mean, as much as any ruling party can.
The old lord, Lord Philippe, certainly has a reputation of being a trustworthy man, but he's uninterested in politicking or warfare. Son, Patrick, he plays the buffoon, but I've never trusted that. I'm not particularly close to the matter, of course. Avoid politics myself, but I met him once at a dinner, and there was a look in his eye. Something I didn't trust. Perhaps I'm just reading into things too much.
I don't think there's ever a misplaced amount of distrust for someone like that.
Well, you see,
Dangerous
I'm
man
not...
with an army.
I know you're new to the city. Recent events being as they are. The rulership of Einem is technically in the stewardship of another knight named Sir Renfred. He's newer to the city, but he's been given control of it by the Emperor, which Lord Philippe Chapman, of course, is fine with. As I mentioned, he cares little for ruling. He writes volumes of poetry. But his son, Patrick, rumor has it he's not fond of this new knight coming in and taking control of the city from him. I'm gossiping, of course, but rumor has it that Sir Patrick would intend to take the city back if he could. That's what I don't trust about him. He plays the fool, but he strikes me as someone who knows how to get what he wants.
His father, do you know of a way to gain audience with him?
Oh, certainly. He holds poetry competitions, open performance nights at most taverns in the city. He's something of a roustabout himself, at least in his younger days. He has a passion for the arts. If you have any talents in such arts, then he's very likely to speak with you. Although I think, in truth, if you came to his office, he's a fairly accessible person, ready to talk your ear off about his latest volume. I believe he's working on his 22nd book at the moment.
Wow, quite impressive.
It's quite the prolific
I'm afraid
author,
I'm not...
never to my taste.
I'm not quite the talent with a quill myself. My father always did say that good knife work was as good as any poem. But I don't think that's quite what he'd be interested in. I have a friend who might, though.
Well, if you are a historian or have interesting knowledge, I'm certain that Lord Philippe would be willing to meet with you.
Keep that in mind.
Worst comes to worst, I would be willing to help out. I'm often invited to galas and the like. I can bring you along.
That would be appreciated as well. We'll see if we can't get his attention with some poetry first, though. One more thing. Are you familiar at all with the Witch's Spine?
I wouldn't call myself familiar with it, but I have traveled that way in my line of work, you understand. What of it?
It's a place where a man lost his heart, I suppose. Source of ghost stories and the like.
Yes, well, having traveled along the spine in my youth, I don't give much credence to the ghost stories. I find it to be mostly people who are scared of whatever might live in the mountains. At night they look strange. You can hear strange sounds, terrifying howls and the like, but it's just the wind.
Fair enough. Suppose that's all I have for you. Appreciate you patching this up and all the information.
Of course. You'll be fine in no time. If you're looking to raise an army of sorts, then I also hear that Marcus Viridian has a lot of sellswords in town at the moment. If you have some coin or a persuasive tongue, he would be the man I would go to. I would be careful bringing this to the church.
Why is that?
You carry a book which, if they saw, would have us all killed.
Carry more
journal?
knowledge than what's in this book.
The library as well, if they were to learn of it or find it on an expedition out there, would be burned. As would the librarian. He's a sweet man. I would hate to see him suffer.
We'll avoid sharing that knowledge, I suppose. Well,
I leave it in your hands, to your judgment. But if you ever need patching up or any of your friends, then come by. I'll do the best I can.
much appreciated. Would you require some
Dr.
payment?
Phineas?
Fear not about the payment, son. Yes, Polaris.
I just have a simple question. When were you born?
Spring.
Do you know the month?
I would have to look it up. Let me see. I keep diaries. And he goes to a bookcase. And there are a long list of diaries. Seems like he keeps one for every year. And starts going through it. Let's see here. May. Yes.
Do you know if there's somewhere in the city that keeps archives of all the births?
Suppose the closest might be the Landgrave's office. The Landgraves keep a record of all deaths in the city and how they died. Perhaps they keep records of the births as well.
I don't know if you'll know this, but do you know how far back their records would go?
I'm afraid I don't. And I wouldn't expect them to be particularly well organized either. So many people do not have their names recorded anywhere, let alone be able to write them.
I understand. All right, well, thank you for patching up our friend Charlie here. We're so happy that he can have both of his eyes again. And I'll pat Charlie on the back.
Yes. Doing surgery with only one was not an experience I was looking forward to.
Nor your patient.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I guess
All right.
there's like 3 Doomsday books, so no one has too much record, but there might be some government record that you could find. The church might be the other place Polaris might want to look as well. The Landgrave office has a subsection of the church, which is like all deaths, burials, and stuff, and to see that they're performed correctly into the, like the proper rites of the emperor are performed at someone's death, which is important when someone dies.
Yeah. I'm interested in all of that. Did he I want to make sure he gave me the journal back from a Darien.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he'd give that right back.
Okay. All right, perfect. Do you know if I don't know if this would be in there. Like, how much personal information would be in the journal about Darien?
Pretty much only the passages which I gave to you are the ones that were still readable, that weren't completely damaged or destroyed.
Right.
So yeah, pretty much what's in there, and a couple of bits in the margin that Phineas had picked out, but yeah, not too much.
He said that there was a spell written in the margin with no components. Would I recognize anything about it?
Yeah, let's see. Let's have you make us a, what's the skill check in this game? Damn it.
Do you think alchemy is an option here?
Damn it, why don't I have the skill sheet up when I need
Magic.
it?
There's
It's not
alchemy,
incantation.
incantation.
Right.
yeah, incantation was the one I was thinking of.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's rough that.
I'm good at that one. Oh my god, I passed it amazingly.
Killed it. It's basically the yeah, you make out no components. Most of it is like scribbled away, so you can barely understand what they're saying. But it's the imbibing of a spell into an object is what's happening.
Ooh.
That's like the base of the
Okay.
spell. So you would already have them.
like an
so you would
enchantment?
guess an enchantment. Yeah, you've already got like the mask. You enchant it with some kind of magic, but you're not sure what the magic does. Something unspeakably evil for sure. But
Okay.
based on Adarian's other writings, it's probably not a great one.
I was just imagining that. Yeah.
It's not like Satnav. Yeah.
I didn't need to
It's a
pass my
man that you put
incantation
on,
check to
start
know
talking in a
that.
funny voice.
So Phineas, bids you a good day, or a good evening, I guess.
Is it evening?
Yeah, it's like 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, that was very informative. Glad to hear Phineas isn't just some lying scoundrel involved in all of the death that we're trying to stop.
Tom comes running after you as you're headed out and says, "Excuse me," and like tugs on your sleeve. He's got a coin pouch in his hand and says, "Dr. Phineas said I should give you this in case you needed anything.
What is this?
It's gold."
Oh man.
Gold? How much?
I don't know. I don't really do counting. I do letters, but I haven't learned my numbers yet.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much. Tell them it's much appreciated.
Look inside. There's 12 gold pieces inside.
Oh my god.
We're rich.
Jeepers. Holy hell. Well, we're rich. He's trying to help
More gold than I've
kickstart
ever seen
fund
in my life.
against the zombies army, so
How much did you say was in there?
12 G.
12.
Oh,
Or
12.
GC, yeah. Good points.
12
Oh
G's.
my god.
12 G's.
12G, baby.
I just
All right.
call me 12 G's in
Rat City, bitch.
Thank you,
Getting paid
Smart Child.
12 G's. Yeah, Tom gives it to you and scurries back into the office.
Wow.
Great.
Wonderful.
Well, that was
If I can
lovely and
find a place
fruitful-
that will sell me a seed pot of opium, I'll buy like 3 of them.
Yeah, you could probably buy it here actually, and like Phineas's like complex is basically doubles up as an alchemy shop in the front as well.
Sure.
So
Oh, yeah.
yep, you can buy some goods.
I'm gonna hit up
yeah.
the
Some, like,
Penumbra
good-
Walgreens.
That's right.
And some laudanum too. All right. so
Yeah.
Yep. Laudanum is
I've got the
good
prices
shit.
of those, so.
Laudanum is by the draft is 4 gold. So
All right. I'll
Yikes.
buy one of those, and an opium seed pot is 1 gold, right?
yeah, 1 gold.
I'll buy 3.
Sweet.
So, immediately down from 12 to 5, but worth it. So worth it.
That's fine. 5 gold pieces.
That'll
Do you know what
save
page it is in the
someone's
book
life.
that
Yeah.
that gives you trappings and things that you can buy off the top of your head? I don't know if you know that.
236 is what I was looking at for the medicine. So its trappings is around the 230s.
Perfect.
For those of you who
Fine,
want to go on a
thank you.
shopping trip. Okay, so you guys are shopping spree. Yeah, you guys head out of the office. We'll come back to you. Persephone's gone to work. Hilda, you earn a gold piece every day that you work for MASH.
Wow.
So yeah, so you've already worked there one day because you took a day off. So you got a gold. Yeah.
That's
so by tomorrow
waitresses
you
get
have
paid
to-
well here.
Yeah.
I got paid like 8 brass pennies for like doing barber surgery.
And
Working
all
hard.
I do
Here's the
is
thing.
pour ale.
Mash will explain to Hilda that he has first of all, Mash has no understanding of basic economics and how much things should cost, or how much he charges for things. The other is that you find out that if by taking a look at Mash's books, the man is like the equivalent of a millionaire. He's been running this tavern for like 30 years, and he's a property owner in a really wealthy city. He just doesn't really realize it. So he's actually got a lot of gold stashed away, sort of under the floorboards and the like.
All right.
Yeah, so he's also a bit of an idiot, so he doesn't realize how much he's giving away.
Oh.
But hey,
What a guy.
he doesn't mind.
What a cute
Nick, do you want to head to Marcus Viridian's, or were you headed somewhere else?
No, tonight. Well, still nighttime, right? I
Yeah.
want to go to market during the day. I don't want to make a house call late at night to
Right.
Marcus Viridian. So tonight, I would. Well, the blacksmiths often operate late at night, yeah, because that's
Sure,
when it's
yeah.
cooler during the day.
Cooler, yeah.
I would wait until reconvening with Charlie and Polaris to go talk to Marcus Viridian and reconvening with the rest of the party as well, because I think that Danny is going to have information from Mr. Phillip, whom we've now learned outside of game has other information. But I don't want to be going off on an expedition to a place full of dangerous soldiers by myself at night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head. Right. Well, you can come along as well. But tonight, what I would do is find a blacksmith, and all I want to do is attempt to trade my 1 gold piece pike for a 1 gold piece other weapon.
For sure, yeah,
And
you could do that, yeah.
And the other weapon that I am looking to trade for is a Mon Gauche.
Ooh, new
I am
supplements.
getting rid.
I mean, it's
$8
not
in
pronounced
Drive RPG.
main gauche.
It's not pronounced
Main
main
Gauche?
gauche. I went to the pronunciation guide, and it is a Mon Gauche.
Main Gauchi.
Main
I would have said main
Gauche.
gouge, but yeah.
Gucci. It's
Main
Gucci Mane.
Gucci. It's Gucci.
The pike, the
Gucci
pike
by Maine.
itself is an excellent weapon when alone or in wide open spaces or in battle. It is not
Sweet.
particularly good when in close quarters combat or near other allies. And so I would trade in my pike. This is a well-battled, excellent weapon, Sir Blacksmith, but I require something with a little bit more control, a little bit more defensive capability. I would ask for that fine Mon Gauche you have hanging on the wall there.
They do. It's luckily for you, it's on sale this week on Drive RPG.
There you go.
So there you go. Yep, he'll happily trade you it, and you're gonna give yourself
Goodbye, old friend.
the new weapon. Yeah.
Awesome. So I have a Mon Gauche now instead of the pike. What that means is I can finally use my shield in combat, which gives me a lot more to defense. The Mon Gauche itself also has the defensive property, which allows me more likelihood to parry, which means that I can do more damage with my Fencer's Panache. And it also has the property weak, but I'm not necessarily caring too much about dealing grievous injuries. So I'm a much more finesse fighter now that I have this. And once I've done that business, I would ask about ranged weaponry, just to inquire what's available in the city. I've heard of these things called firearms, and I was wondering who would know about those.
Yeah.
Would I, and just sort of gauge what around exists in that sphere.
Yeah. So the blacksmith will tell you that these sort of rare weapons from afar with the black powder have been controlled by the Chapmires, meaning that there are very few. They're incredibly expensive, and those that they do have are in the hands of the city's elite.
Of course.
But if you were a friend of a friend of a friend who had enough coin to spend, then yeah, you could probably get your hands on one. But
I'm also looking in my little booklet here. I don't even know if I, as Nick, would be aware of Witchfire, but I have it in my booklet as in the armory. Would I be aware of Witchfire pistols and things of that nature?
Yeah,
They're
I
sort
would
of like
say
magic
so.
guns.
Yeah, I'd say so. Those would be controlled by the mages. So Polaris is probably the best shot at getting your hands on one of those. But they're also, so in our world, they would be illegal to have like a magic weapon. You might have heard of those, but yeah.
Okay, as soon as I bring it up, as soon as I heard that it's illegal, I'll be like, oh, nope, no harm done. Cool,
right,
cool, cool.
right, yeah.
And
so
then
you
I
headed
would head
back
back.
to the
I would head back to Mash's Tavern.
Yes.
Hey Hilda, check out this sweet new weapon I got. Do we want to go do anything tonight that is, risky business? That's either gambling or black market related to try to find more details, or do you want to wait till the morning comes to go follow up on our other leads?
I do feel like making a big man cry.
Yeah. So
Just in the mood.
all right. Hey, Mash.
Hello.
Where might
Not MASH!
No. I'm going to ask him where to find the. I'm not going to threaten him. Don't worry. I know I've got that air about me.
I pat MASH on the shoulder.
Do you have
I
a
got you,
specific
buddy.
kind of what kind of where would we find Mash? Where would we find the scuttlebutt?
Yeah.
Where would we find the groups
You've got no
of
insects.
Oh my goodness. That's good. That's good for a restaurant and bar to not have insects. That's not what I'm asking about.
Yeah, not since
I
the
want
last
to
time.
know where would I go? Where would I go to learn what the word about town is? Where would I learn to hear rumor and intrigue from from individuals of questionable content?
Oh, there's this one tavern called the Known Whisper, and it's
The
all
Known-
shady. Yeah, all shady
Okay.
like, and sort of illicit and sneaky and all. They don't let me in there.
Well, you're a direct competitor, so do you let members of the Known Whisper in here?
I don't know who they are.
Oh, that's fair. Well, you would
I've
know
never been.
because they're known. They're the Known Whisper, though.
Well,
How do you
I've
know
never
you're
been
not allowed in if
inside,
you've never been?
Well, I
Or
went
they
in and
reject
they
you at
said
the
you can't
door.
come
I
in.
got you. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Hilda, how does the Known Whisper sound to you? Or do you prefer bangers at this point?
You can call me Hilda.
Okay.
And the known whispers will be the known whimpers when we leave.
Oh boy. Okay. Well. All right. We will.
That's a different
let's head
tavern.
over.
That's not a tavern actually. That's by the red lights, and that's different place.
You
Wow.
handsome, kind man. What time am I off?
Oh, you can go whenever.
All right, I'll be back for another shift tomorrow. Shall we?
Okay.
Yes,
Nick.
we shall. We'll have to tell Danny about the Known Whimpers just in case there's more information to be had there.
Might
And
have
we
to
will make
stop there
our
on the
way.
way home.
That's right. And we will make our way, I suppose, over for a nightcap at the Known Whisper.
All right. Yeah, you head over, and it's definitely a more sort of shady, smoky, smoke-filled bar where there's a sort of haze of smoke in the air, which hasn't ever quite settled. And the barkeep looks like they're probably a bit of a sellsword themselves. or at least maybe an XL sword. He's missing a leg, so yeah, and there's sort of like a wooden peg there instead. And most of the patrons of the bar seem to be keeping themselves to themselves at the sides of the rooms. There's a quiet sort of murmur as you enter the room.
Excellent. I feel like the two of us look reasonably not terribly out of place in a place like this.
Right.
Being two of the people who are kind of undercover. So let me get an image of this bar. Is this like a biker bar? Is this more of a bar where ladies of the evening might be picking up employment?
Sure. This is the kind of place where you buy and sell illegal things, and no one really minds. Yeah.
Is there a dice or a crap game? Is there a dice or a crap game or a card game?
Yeah, there's darts happening. There's cards. Yeah.
I will turn to Hilda and I will say, does anyone look particularly punchable to you?
I do want to look around and see who the easiest target would be to like intimidate, blackmail.
Does anyone look like a mark?
You could both roll me a scrutinize on the crowd.
I'll let Hilda head that one up. I'm just eyeing the room for. Actually, I would be eyeing the room rather than looking for a mark. I would be eyeing the room looking for dangerous people. Is anyone eyeing us, particularly looking at us like we are marks?
You could roll me a scrutinize, Nick. That's a fail. Yeah.
That's a big fail.
Mine's a success.
Okay, so yeah, you're not spying anyone who seems like a mark. It seems like everyone here is probably of a similar sort of bent as you guys, cut from a similar cloth. But as for Nick, yeah, there's someone who's been watching you. There are two people who have been watching you. Two men, both look incredibly outfitted with equipment, weaponry, and armor. They both seem like they're wearing chainmail, which is somewhat hidden, but you catch the glimmer of steel underneath sort of levers and the like. One of them only has one eye, and there's like a scar running like straight down the center over his eye. That's sort of like a milky mess. And they have both been looking at you the whole time that you've come in. Like as soon as you walked in, they've both been staring at you.
All right, I will idle my way up to the bar. Would you like a beverage, Hilda? My treat.
An ale.
Okay.
Those men giving you issues?
No, not just
Do
yet.
you know them?
Don't look at them directly. We don't want to start a fight until we know more. I don't know them.
Yeah, the barkeeper's like, perpetually wiping a glass, stomps over on his peg leg and says, what could I get you?
Hi there, barkeep. I would like 2 ales, please.
Those two, don't look, but over in the corner, they're still watching you.
Yeah, I'm trying not to make eyes at them, but I've seen them.
Yeah, don't look, they're hunters. Witch hunters. They've been in here all day. Waiting for someone to come in, I reckon.
All right. Well, the good news is that we aren't witches, so we'll be fine. But,
you ain't never met a witch hunter then, eh? Don't matter if you're a witch or not. If you look at them the wrong way, they'll have you strung up.
That's why I'm keeping my eyes over here. Tell me about the poker game over there in the corner and the dice games. What's the stakes usually?
Nothing big. That's for the backroom stuff, the big stake stuff. If you're looking for a real challenge, that is, you want to take on local contenders. But like over there, they're just having fun.
All right. I would probably avoid the back room for now. I'm not looking for any professional intrigue at this exact moment. Maybe if they invite me then we can move forward there. Let me ask you a couple of questions. What's your name, by the way, if you don't mind my asking, if that's not prying too much?
They call me Dawson.
Dawson. Very nice to meet you. My name is Nick. This is my friend Hilda. We're new in town. We're not looking for trouble, but I assume very few folks in this bar are looking for trouble. But if trouble approaches them, well, that's just the way things go, right?
I specialize in stomping out trouble.
Nice.
I bet you do, sweetheart. But yeah, you've been round that Marcus Viridian's place, isn't it?
I was just about to ask you about him.
Well, word is you're turned him down.
Really? The word is that I turned him down. People are talking about me. I don't like that too much. Who, if you don't mind my asking, came in and talked about me in such a manner?
Well, that's not information I can freely give away.
That's fair. That's fair.
But
a lot of Marcus's boys.
He extends a hand. Yeah, he's like, I can't freely give it away, but he extends a hand, a palm for a coin.
And I will produce. Well, what's the usual bribe in this world?
I'll slip a silver in his hand.
Yeah, the silver would certainly do it.
Sure.
There was a fella. Name was Mark, I think. Talking his ear off about you.
Yeah, of course.
Thought it was strange. And then you went up the river, didn't you? At least that's what some of the boys were saying.
It's all making sense to me now why we're getting eyeballed. Interesting. So those boys...
they reckon that there's all sorts of, outside of the city, all sorts of heresy. You know, weird shit going on there, witches, magic, you name it. Dancing underneath the moon like the devil. Like, that's why the hunters are onto your props.
Well, I'll tell you what, friend. You can feel free to charge whatever you feel like to people coming in, asking about me, for the following information. We are the only people, me and my cadre, in this town who have tangled with the river and come back alive. And so if they need services of talented folk like us, it's going to cost them a pretty penny. And if they want to talk about it, they should do so on their own terms, of their own volition, coming straight to me, not hoping that people will randomly walk into the known whisper. How's that sound?
I'll let them know if they ask.
Great. I hope that
You're going to want to lose your tails, though.
Yeah, I'm figuring out how to... So, let me ask you about this. We're going to have another round here, and I'll eyeball the rest of the crowd and maybe wander over to the dice game before we do so, and I will lean over to Hilda and say, we're probably not going to be able to exit through the front door this evening without being tailed. If I were to excuse myself to the little Bravo's room, is there an exit out the back?
Yeah. First door window. Take it right out.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I slip him another silver.
Yeah, he's like, hunters are no friends of mine. I appreciate it.
Good. Who else?
If the witch hunters come up and ask.
Yeah.
This one here is a witch hunter.
Yeah. Who hunts the huntsman? That's right.
I think they call those witches.
That.
I've never done it. I've never done it professionally, but I'm a quick learner. I could certainly become a hunter-huntsman.
I've seen him fell men twice their size and twice the size of the group.
Well, you're too kind. Hilda?
I don't know if you want me to roll a rumor check or anything.
Oh, yeah, rumor checks and stuff. Sure.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking to plant a rumor. I'm starting my own disinformation.
That's what I'm
campaign.
trying to do. That's exactly what
Yeah.
I'm trying to do.
Great.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, 69.
My roll is nice, but I think it fails. Mine fails.
Yeah, it could be.
But I also don't think that the difficulty is particularly high to get them to be interested in us. So I will continue to espouse our rumors about ourselves. I will pick up my beer, pay for it, and tip, in addition to the information grease wheeling.
Yep.
I will turn to Hilda and say, Hilda, we're not looking to play any tonight, but the position of the table that poker game is at is advantageous to be standing at if we want to make a quick getaway. How would you like to learn a little bit about the card game?
Sure.
And we will make our way back in the building towards the gambling and carousing over there. I'm mostly just looking to listen and not start any conversation myself at this point.
Okay.
I'll just keep an eye at the table on if anyone is... by the way, I have incredible numeration as one of my talents, which means that I'm good at counting cards and money and pots. So if anyone is palming chips, if anyone is bottom dealing, doing any sort of nefarious activity at the table, I want to keep an eye out for that. And meanwhile, I'll just be standing at the table and lean over and say, there's one great law of poker, and it is adaptable to everything else in life when people are trying to get things from you. It's this. People are either acting or they aren't. And if they are, then judge what you want, then judge what they want you to do, and regardless of whether it makes sense to you otherwise, do the exact opposite. That's all you have to do. That's the law of bluffing. It doesn't make any sense to put chips in the middle with a bad hand, unless your opponent doesn't want you to put chips in the middle. You have to do the opposite. These guys on the other side of the room, they want us to start something.
Duly noted. Today I learned life is poker.
You actually see that the two hunters are standing from the table, and they're walking towards you with a confidence and an intention. They both have some pretty deadly-looking Zweihanders, which they carry.
I'm going to reach into my bag and just, like, with my hand in the bag, start rubbing animal fat between my fingers.
I would have positioned us on the opposite side of the poker table from those gentlemen, so my assumption is that they're approaching the table.
They're between you. Yeah, for sure.
Noon to 6 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay.
One of them, who's wearing a sort of studded leather armor underneath which you caught the glimpse of the male, and he also has the one eye, which sees well, looks over the table towards the group of you and says, "Here, Rattenbury, might we have a word with you and your friend here for a moment? Won't take too long."
How you doing, gents? Is it private? I'm watching the game.
Like I said, it won't take a moment. Private is best.
What'd you have in mind?
We have a table.
I'll look at Hilda.
I don't presume to leave them wanting.
All right. And I suppose we'll walk over to their table.
Yeah.
I want man, I really need to know the layout of this room. But so we're walking over to a table, not a booth.
You're walking over towards a table which is close to the door and fairly close to the bar. So the door out is probably 15 feet away, and it's like, opening and closing as people come in. The bar is, to your right, another 15 feet away. You can see Dawson, the barkeep, with the peg leg, looking over occasionally towards the table, and then behind you is like the rest of the bar, the poker table, the cards, and everything that's happening now.
Okay. I will take a seat.
I'll stay standing.
Please take a seat.
She has
I
a
prefer
back
not to.
issue. Yeah.
I see. Many witches have ailments, mutations in their bones. It's a common
Witches.
sign of a mutant or witch. Are you one?
That is an
I
interesting
am a
factoid.
barmaid.
Well then, if your back is fine, you will take a seat. Unless, of
People
course, you're a
have back
mutant.
problems, man. Calm down. Mr. Jumps to conclusions here. What do you want, friend? What's your name, by the way? You know mine.
My name is Witch Hunter Lieutenant Moreland, and I'm investigating you and your companions.
Under whose charge?
Investigating us?
To whose charge? It's the Emperor's charge. It is by his divine grace which I serve.
The Emperor's charge.
I am.
I'll give a
the
very
executor.
sarcastic curtsy
Mhm.
at the mention of the Emperor.
Right. The dungeon or game master. The Emperor's dead, right?
Yeah. But it wouldn't be strange to say I work for the Emperor in the religious sense that his post
Sure.
would be divinely given. In a similar sense that Polaris could say that she was employed by the Emperor.
Sure.
Einem is
That
pretty,
is-
as I mentioned before, is pretty strict on that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, we all serve at the pleasure of the Emperor, of course, but I think that we were more curious as to, we haven't been in town very long. I wouldn't think that we would have caught that much attention. But I'm happy to answer any questions. You clearly have
Yes, well-
approached us.
Yes, we have. After we have interrogated one of the Blackhearts who gave us your name.
Oh, yikes.
She was a pretty thing. I think you know her
Was?
fairly well. Well, you are familiar with the Blackhearts, are you not?
We are.
Tell us, what is the extent of your dealings with them?
We were traveling between cities, and of course, being in a group provides much better protection, and our cadre joined with theirs on our way to Einem. That's the extent of our communication. Traveling companions.
You
Nice
did not
bunch of
remain
folks.
in contact with them once you reached the city?
Nope.
Did pretty girl Marie Vandermort, did she ever invite you to join the Blackhearts?
Not that I'm aware of. Why?
I will be the one asking the questions here, Nicholas. Did they ever give you any reason to assume they might be witches or mutants?
No.
Have you ever engaged in contact with a creature who describes herself as a princess of red carnage?
No. That sounds terrifying.
It would be.
I have.
Switch. His eyes shoot towards you. Really?
And I will also look up at Hilda.
She was about
Yeah.
Tell me.
74 years of age, drunk off her ass at the Horse and Mare. She also claimed to be a lordling. She also
So
claimed
horse and
to be
man.
a horse.
So witches go under many names. I will investigate the horse and mare, though. Thank you for that lead.
It's where I am employed as a barmaid.
For now. Anyone who is
Yeah.
found to be working or harboring witches, well, you know what happens to them. It would be a shame if you were hiding information from me, that barkeep, whoever employs you there, suffer a very gruesome fate. We extract information in exquisitely painful methods.
Extract from me, if you will.
I intend to.
I am unafraid. I have nothing to hide.
Have you ever seen any heretical texts? Did Marie
No.
or one of the other Blackhearts show one to you?
No.
Did they ever lead you to believe that they had a purpose here in the city aside from whatever they might have told you?
No.
What did you think the Blackhearts' purpose was here in the city?
Annoying. I didn't listen to them. I get annoyed really easily.
You are aware that anyone involved with known heretics, witches, and like can stand trial. Have you ever come across a little girl? Her name is Katrine.
No.
I don't think that is true. I
Okay.
think some of you and your band.
I
have
don't
met
think
this
you're
little
that
girl.
tough.
We could
See,
find
you
out
think
if you
things
like.
and I think things. Who knows what the truth is?
What about you, Nick? Have you ever met this little girl, Katrine? Did you ever take her to a bakery, perhaps? Buy her some pies?
Let's cut to the bottom of the page here, shall we? What do you really want with us? What are you really trying to get out of this conversation?
It's the Princess of
asking me-
Red Carnage. She is what we want. And we will go to any lengths to get her. And any of her co-conspirators who seek to undermine the Emperor's goodwill and peace
I'm afraid-
in the city.
I'm afraid she was so drunk that I had to call her a carriage that night. I didn't get a good look at her address. Think she lives down by the docks? You'd make pretty quick work of her, though. She was real feeble.
I'm sure she is. So is the girl, Katrine. Small, weak, no one to look after her. She's singing like a canary. I would intend to get to the bottom of the princess and anyone who's working with her, and what it is that they seek to do here in the city, whatever heresy they are spreading, and any texts which they hold. Now, of course, anyone who comes to us freely with this knowledge will be tried fairly, and there is a great bounty out from the Emperor's coffers for anyone who can find such heretics. There's 1,000 gold pieces for anyone who brings us information leading to the Princess of Red Carnage. Or any of her co-conspirators.
I told you, she lives down by the docks. I'll take my 1,000 gold pieces.
We will meet again. I'm sure I'll see you at this wholesome mare.
I so look forward to it.
Perhaps your employer has some more answers for us. That's all for now. You may go.
I will stand up from the table and back away from it and turn back to the poker game.
I'll follow.
They walk out. They walk out the door.
They leave the front door.
Even through the front door.
Okay, so we have to kill them before they get to MASH.
They knew that MASH was there. They knew everything about us. They knew as soon as we walked in to the city who we were, or at least something about us. How do they know that so the connection is the Blackhearts. We entered this city.
They have some girl. They have this little girl that you went and saw.
Yeah. And they also have, or had, Marie from the Blackhearts.
I don't suppose Marie yet draws breath.
Yeah.
Most
We
likely
need to
connection from the other character is that Marie certainly saw the Princess of Red Carnage and saw you guys make the deal there. So if the witch hunters picked her up, that's probably what happened.
We need to find Jean, I think. If Jean is still in the city, then that's a connection we need to find. They have
and you'll
Katrine.
be needing a disguise.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, this is not good news.
I didn't even make them cry. Losing my touch.
We definitely could have started a fight right then. If you really wanted to.
I prefer to
But the
use
good news
words.
is, same. The good news is, I think that we're probably going to fight them at some point. So, you know.
Dibs on the one that threatened MASH.
Agreed. Mash can probably hold his own, though.
Maybe
And
we
we'll
go
be
warn
there.
him.
Yeah, I think it's time for us to go as well. I'm letting whoever they are, hopefully either wander off or post up just outside. Do you think that we should use the regular exit, or do you want to go out the back door, as it were?
I could take a piss.
Sounds good. I'll meet you out there. Before I leave, I will approach the bar and call over the barkeep once more.
Yeah, Dawson comes over.
And say, thank you for your advice and patronage. If you ever think of a reason to contact me or us, feel free to... Do you know where we are? Do you know who I am?
I'll be able to find out. Yeah.
Great. That's comforting. All right.
Word of advice. Word to the wise. If the hunters are after you, all they want is blood. I suggest giving them some. Preferably not your own, but if there's someone that you're not particularly fond of that's a neighbour, maybe a book shows up in their office. Hunters get their field day. You get to fuck off.
Good to know. Thank you. And I will climb out the bathroom window.
All right. So should the rest of us, I guess Charlie and Polaris, are you headed back to the Horse and Mare after your meeting with Dr. Phineas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Meet up with the others.
Yeah, for now I do want to go to the church to check out like the archives or the Landgrave's office, but I can do that later.
Okay, yeah, pretty easier in the morning, because it's probably drawing late-ish by this time. So, okay, let's meet back up at the Horse and Mare. Mash was there serving mash and some ale, and then let's have a group of you returning at about the same time. So you see, each group of two sees the other group of two, and I suspect that Hilda and Nyx look somewhat more stressed than Charlie and Polaris at this point.
I mean,
anyone that comes in what's happened, roll me a perception awareness check. walking in from the street. Sorry.
Boy.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's a nice from me, but not a success.
I am successful.
Nice, but no success.
Perception awareness.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted.
Oh,
Pepsi.
yeah. I did great.
I have failed every roll today.
Oh, no. Anyone that succeeded.
Oh wait, nope.
spots-
I succeed. Sorry. Manifest destiny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
No worries. Anyone who enters into the tavern from the street will see these two figures previously described as the witch hunters. Two tall men who are standing opposite the horse and mare, who don't seem to be moving towards it, but seem to be scouting out, sort of on watch, intently watching anyone coming and going from the tavern. They have Zweihanders and sort of low-brimmed hats. One of them has only one eye, and they seem to be... Everyone in the street gives them a wide berth because they know what who the witch hunters are. But yeah, pick up the scene. I'll be right back.
So, how was your day?
Well, my eye's doing a little better, so there's that.
That's good. That's good.
And Phineas seems trustworthy. Got a book to read.
Nice.
Right.
I would put that back into its satchel.
Mm-hmm.
We got threatened.
I just barely pull out the corner of it to show that I have
I
it.
would. So we have news that is pertinent to our safety. I don't imagine you
And
saw those
Mash's
scary
safety.
and Mash's safety. As a matter of fact, well, we probably shouldn't call Mash over, but we should talk to Mash in a minute.
I will go talk to Mash.
Sure. So here's the deal. I don't know if you saw those scary-looking gentlemen outside in the tall, wide-brimmed hats. Those are called witch hunters. They hunt witches and other magical beings, ? At the service of the Emperor. They are the state police, I guess. And when we went to the Known Whisper, which is a nice bar run by a guy named Dawson, he's a very nice gentleman, as nice of a gentleman as can be expected to run the, nefarious bar across town. We were approached by a couple of those gentlemen, one of whom has one eye. The only one whose name I caught is Moreland. And they began telling us of our travels, beginning with meeting the Princess of Red Carnage in the woods. Because they captured Marie of the Blackhearts and tortured her for information pertaining to us. They proceeded to take Katrine, the little girl, Olaf's little girl, and have her somewhere. They began asking us leading questions pertaining to our specific histories, beginning just outside of and then inside of Einem. They strongly threatened us and then made their exit. Now,
I give Polaris a knowing look. I say, they think I'm a witch.
Charlie is looking at you and like sweating.
yeah.
I would look at Polaris, or I would look at Persephone and be like,
So, here's the good news. The good news is they're just watching us right now. They're not actively hunting us. They're not torturing us. They're not taking us into custody. What they are doing now is asking us questions, waiting for us to give leading information back. That's good. because that means they don't hold all of the cards. Now, what that also means is that they're going to go through all of our things, all of our rooms. Everyone we know in this city is going to be under a microscope. So everything dangerous that we have should not be able to be tied back to anyone that we know or us. So if that book is what I think it is, we should find a nice hiding place for it, far away from us, from the horse and mare, from anyone we care about. Safe, secret, but not connected to us.
I have another plan.
Go on.
And more good news. They're standing out there, alone.
But, Hilda, you're not thinking of trying
Oh,
to
absolutely.
take them on the streets?
They threatened MASH. They threatened us. They have some sniveling brat. They may have killed Marie. It would be easy enough to lure them away. They said they torture people, Charlie.
Yes, I know. And if we want
just make
to
this problem
help
disappear.
Marie, if we want to find her, then
there's more
killing
witch
them won't
hunters
make the
where
problem
they
disappear.
I guess Polaris would probably know the most about them because she's involved in like she'd have to have gone through several like witch hunting tests and checks to make sure that you're not, that you're still maintaining the regulations that the church demands on you, that kind of thing.
I was just getting ready to ask about that.
Yeah, kind of like background checks. So you probably have to go through one yearly, like an annual sort of like check to make sure that you haven't broken any laws, that kind of thing. So you'd have heard of witch hunting Lieutenant Morland before. He has a pretty terrifying reputation. He's the kind of guy that goes into a village looking for a witch and then burns the whole village down because he finds one, or at least claims to. So it's very much that medieval sort of, if she drowns, she's a witch. If she floats, she's a witch. Kind of deal. Or if she down, she was fine all along, whatever. But maybe she was a witch too. So that kind of deal. They're totally divinely empowered by the Emperor. Totally legal for them to do this. They can seize property, seize land, seize anyone that they want in relation to an investigation that they're proceeding. They don't really answer to anyone. So even the Chapmires who rule the city, or Sir Renfred, who's the current ruler of the city, would be subjects to their law. So they are the secret police. They're the KGB, the Gestapo of Penumbra. So all bad news, pretty much. But yeah, if one disappears, then the investigation, then 10 witch hunters come down and drop all over the city. So necessarily getting rid of them might not be the way to tread.
If you kill one boss, a bunch of other bosses come.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just being a magic user isn't like what they're looking for. They're looking for people that are not registered and don't.
They're looking for me. They're looking for people like me. Yeah.
Anyone that owns a book,
out away there for a second. There, Persephone.
Yeah. Anyone with ideas against the Emperor, you're a heretic. Fucking die.
Tomb?
Yeah. Tomb. He's on the list. So pretty much.
Also, we don't just have this one bad book. We have a whole collection of books that are definitely
the mask
banned.
that would kill you. The talisman.
We don't have those.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
The talisman.
Talisman. Okay. You're in like Stalinist Russia in some regards. When the witch hunters show up, suddenly things get a whole lot more scary.
Okay.
Polaris would know that they can be dealt with. I mean, like you can talk to them, and that's the kind of same thing that Dawson had mentioned to Nick. So if you dob someone else in with some enough evidence, they'd be happy to get off your case at least for a while.
So that's an option. Is we can plant damning evidence on someone.
But then we lose that resource. They're not going to
Correct.
just be like, well, I'll leave it
Who's
here.
this someone you're thinking?
Huh?
Who's this someone that you want to plant evidence on?
I know a pretty good mark.
Tell me.
I think
Mark.
he was making a pun.
Oh.
The joke is it's
Oh
Mark.
my god.
Mark is the one that sold us out in terms of selling information at the known Whisper. We know where to find him. We know that he is having dealings with Marcus Viridian, and that it is not unrealistic to get Marcus Viridian to be paranoid of his own workforce.
Potentially not.
The other
That's
thing
the
I'd give you,
best I
Polaris, is that Polaris is a licensed witch. Her word may go some way to protecting you. So if Polaris were to go and speak to them, offer an interview and say that these guys are okay, that could also, potentially get them off your back.
That was my plan. But I was going to sit everybody down first to tell them that and to tell them what I know about Lieutenant, is it Moreland?
Moreland.
Moreland,
Yeah.
Moreland. Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. The other option, as you mentioned, is the diplomatic approach, where we say, listen, we lay it all out on the table and say, look, the best defense is a good offense. All we're trying to do is end the plague. The fact that you people won't use every weapon at your disposal to try to do that, that's a you problem. But we're trying to save this city and this continent. So...
Well, your head would look lovely on a spike and all, Nick, but...
Yeah. That's why it wasn't the first recommendation.
Not eager to part with mine.
Nick, that's not what they're looking for at all.
I know.
It's what everyone wants, but it's not what they are looking for.
Yep. That's why it wasn't the first suggestion.
Yes, they're tasked with a purge, not a true cleansing.
They're not here to save lives. They're here to find witches.
Yep.
Exactly.
Now,
as much as
I will speak to them.
I can't say I have any strong regard for this Mark person, I can't say that selling information on us is quite worthy, a sin worthy of whatever fate they bring.
He'll just be tortured a little. Not me. Not Polaris. Not
tortured
Mash.
a lot.
I'm cool. That's fine by me. If that's the easiest course of action, it's my vote.
I'm going to try not to throw anybody under them, but I'll speak to them.
The one other person that I could see a chance, opportunity to bring some harm to might be Patrick of the noble family here.
I think that Patrick has a lot more use to us going forward, based on, theoretically, we've had a conversation with, this conversation's happening with Tomb and Danny as well.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
I think that means that Danny has an opportunity to perhaps plant something on him.
Are we
I
done
agree.
with him yet?
No.
To be quite honest, I don't quite think Patrick is useful for whatever resources he has to offer. I quite think, well, I don't have anything to back this up, but I think that if anything, he's part of this somehow.
I've never met
Well, then
Patrick.
that's a risky play.
I think that
Agreed.
Patrick is someone who is able to have information planted upon his person quite easily, if we want to go in that direction. My issue with it is that he seems to be a high-powered individual in this city, and so will have much more defensive capabilities against our machinations.
All I'm saying, to put it in terms maybe rubbed onto me by Nick, is you don't say that you have an ace in your hand unless you know that your opponent doesn't have an ace in theirs. Using this man that might be part of this is very risky. I don't love the idea of Polaris going and speaking with those two half-wits out there. I say we burn the rat.
Just to be clear, Speedy, you did not share with us the information about the family?
I would share that information with you.
You would share that information, okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was playing that conversation that way.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Like,
no.
Because I would be like, oh, well, that's a weird person to try to throw under the tires, seeing as we learned all this new information about how they could help us take out the infestation at the castle.
No, from what I was told, it seems likely that he's planning something, perhaps a coup of Renfred's armies, and his ambition seems troubling, the kind that spurs inner machinations of danger.
I'm not going to give them information. I just want to talk to them and find out why they're here, which of us they're looking at, and which things have drawn attention to us. These are things helpful to know, and I don't... Go on.
They didn't seem too willing to listen to my questions. They seemed to want to ask their own, and that's about it, just as a heads up.
Well, I've got the necessary paperwork, and I'll answer their questions the best that I can. And if I can't get them off our case, then I will come back and tell you.
And then we burn the rat?
Maybe so.
Then we'll make a decision.
Fine.
The other
but if you do that now, there's just more of them to come. There's 100 of them. They don't even matter. They're nameless.
Yeah. The other thing that I think is necessary at this point is we need to find Jean again. We need to locate the Blackhearts.
Will someone go and get on his trail while I do this?
It's a good plan.
That sounds like a Danny job to me.
Yeah, well, Danny is going to talk with Patrick as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if someone here at the table wants to handle it, you could. But actually, Mash said that he often knows where John is, so he's probably quite a good place to start there.
Right.
Oh yeah, they're friends, aren't they?
Yeah. While you're up there with Mash, give him a warning.
Absolutely.
And I would also say that maybe we want to not stay at the Horse and Mare as our home base of operations anymore, despite the fact that it's friendly surroundings and your place of operation and work, because the more time we are here, the more likely this place ends up being a battlefield.
I will not leave Mash without protection.
Oh, of course. I'm not suggesting we leave him high and dry. He's not gonna be another Katrine. We're still gonna keep an eye on him. It's just we don't live here. We don't make it the center of the target.
We'll see.
Fair enough.
Let's see how this conversation goes first.
Aye.
Do you want to go outside alone right now?
I do.
Can I see down onto the street from my room?
Sure.
I'll be watching from my window.
I don't fancy the idea of you going out there alone against how many men are out there?
Two.
Would you mind if I hid in a dark alley around the corner?
Of course not, Nick. I assume you're always doing that.
Only mind if you don't do it well, right?
Right. I'll see you out there. Hopefully
Charlie, you'll accompany me to my window?
Sure.
Game Master, I would like to make a stealth roll, please.
I was about to ask you to do the same. Let's have it.
I'm pretty good at stealth. If I want to use my free natural 20, do I have to announce that before or after?
Yeah, before the roll is ideal, yeah.
Before the roll?
Yeah.
Man, this is close. For stealth?
I think it's worth using it, not to get too meta on you. I think that right now this is an important story beat.
I think this is the one. I will hide outside, sight unseen, ready to pounce as close as I possibly can get.
Fantastic.
I will also tell Mash that I'm doing this, and to stay inside.
Okay. Yeah, he will. He I guess he might. No. He might think about locking up early, but you might want him to keep running the tavern normally, so as to not raise any suspicion.
Nothing's happening.
I would talk to him too on my way up to my room. By the way.
Yeah. Hello.
Mash. There are men outside that are
Go
looking for blood.
I don't
Not
got
friendly.
no blood. I just got alcohol.
Not friendly men, Mash. If they come in here and they talk to you, they might hurt you. And if they start to hurt you, I want you to tell them that I am a witch. I am not a witch, but I can handle them. Okay? Just keep them away from you, away from our friends, and away from your patrons. All right?
Hey, I will.
All right. Good lad. And I will go up to my room.
Okay.
I will give... Does Mash have any weapon?
No.
No? I will give Mash my fire-hardened spear and say, put this under the bar, just in case.
Okay. He does.
See you in a few minutes.
Okay, so you, Polaris, head out, quote-unquote alone, but Nick is sneaking nearby. Nick, you're within earshot. You can see them. You're probably around a corner. They haven't spotted you. You're pretty safe in that knowledge that they haven't spotted you.
What's my distance?
Yep. Okay, so Polaris, you are just strolling up to them?
Yeah. Can you just briefly... Who's Mark?
Mark is the mercenary who is hired by Marcus Viridian. Nick had a conversation with him. Mark told him that Marcus was worried about someone attacking him, and Nick took him to the bar, back to the Horse and Mare with you guys. And Mark has apparently also been telling everyone else about you. Yeah.
Right,
Okay,
he's the one that I got
yeah, yeah.
information about why Marcus was paranoid.
Just any old snake.
Also,
Polaris probably doesn't know that. I just wanted to know who he was. So we're good.
Yeah.
At my window, I'm going to draw a magic circle around myself and Charlie. And I will be rubbing animal fat in my fingers.
Constantly.
Excellent.
Man, I really wish we had a crossbow, but oh well.
So the two of them are standing sort of opposite the street in a bit of gloom, but Morland will step out as you move towards him. Hey, Polaris, it's good to see you.
Hello. And I would hold my hand out like, you do.
Nice.
He extends a gloved, gauntleted hand.
I like it.
How can I be of service to you?
Well, I was actually wondering the same about you. Is there a reason you're following us here?
There is. Perhaps you'd like to talk about it somewhere more private.
I would like to talk about it right here where I've approached you.
That's fine, for now. You come to us with information?
I've come to you to ask for information. I don't know what information you're expecting me to offer.
Perhaps I can make things clearer for you then. I am seeking a heretic, a witch, some power, and anyone who works with or for her might have even seen her, which is called the Princess of Red Carnage. At least that's what she calls herself. She claims to be one of the crows. She walks, they say, in Arkenbury, and entreats passers-by to perform acts of heresy for her, brings her into her coven. We picked up one such heretic not too long ago. Her name is Marie Vandemort. I believe you know her. She told us that she was not alone when she was approached by this princess, that there were others, yourself included in fact, who witnessed this creature. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. We did encounter this woman in the forest on our way here, and we were with Marie. But I don't understand what that has to do with anything. The woman did not offer any services other than to keep us protected, and we said yes, because what's there to lose? We did not trade anything, we just said yes, and we kept going. I don't know what Marie offered her. I feel no protection.
What did she offer you protection from, Frau Polaris?
Just the plague.
It's a plague. Did that not strike you strange?
In the forest full of masked creatures after escaping a city full of the plague, it did not seem that strange.
Witches, as you should know, are very deceptive at times. They promise all sorts of heretical things. Tell us, what did she look like to you when you saw her? How did she present herself?
Just like you would imagine, nothing special. She wore a crow's mask.
Crow's mask. So bold in her heresy. I see. Did she ask you to do anything?
Just to try to understand what was going on with the creatures in the woods. And that seemed harmless enough, so we agreed, because why have something like that on the wrong side of you? When
what do you mean?
You don't really have to offer anything.
What are you talking about? Masks? Creatures?
Have you not seen them?
No.
Just the abominations that are in the forest that are hunting.
Have you seen more of them elsewhere?
All of them? Just that once?
Did they speak to you? Did they offer you anything? Power?
Nothing whatsoever. In fact, we were terrified, which is why we spoke to her in the first place. She offered protection. We said yes, thinking that she could actually offer us something, and we kept going. But
so you're telling me that creatures, masked creatures, attacked you in Arkenbury Forest. The next day, a witch shows up, promises you protection from the creatures which most likely she herself created. And you just took this deal?
That's exactly what I'm saying. We did not give her anything in return.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, what else would you like from me?
I already have your confession.
I approached you. What more would you like?
Your list of co-conspirators and heretics that you know of.
Sure.
Please, name them.
I don't have any.
You have no co-conspirators?
Conspirators in what?
working for or with this princess, which you and Nicholas Rattenbury, for instance, he is one as well, yes, and Hilda, Charlie Barber, Danny Toon. These are your conspirators in this, are they not?
Those are the companions I've been traveling with. Those are the ones who saw the masked creatures in the forest and saw the woman that you're speaking of.
So
we didn't conspire in anything, though.
Of course. What about this Dr. Phineas? You have met with him several times. He is too a heretic?
Yes. We've met with him twice now. He helped my friend Charlie with his eye. His eye was hurt, and other than that, nothing. Just a man we know.
Just a man. Has he ever led you to believe that his faith in the Emperor is anything but strong?
No. No one here has.
Okay. What about fisherman? Name Pat. He gave you a boat, did he not?
Yes.
Where did you take said boat?
Well, just down the river. Nowhere specific. What else would you like to know?
It is our belief that the heart of this heresy is somewhere along that river where you have been meeting this princess of Red Carnage. Is there anyone else you met there while you were performing acts of heresy together?
We just saw her the one time. Just the one time that she approached us and offered us some protection from the plague, and we took it because while on our way here, we saw our entire town, our families, everyone we've ever known get consumed by the plague in a day.
And this
We're looking
witch,
for safety.
if she can give you this protection, did you not think that it was maybe her who has been causing this whole plague? That she may be the very one that we are seeking?
No. It seemed like she was someone that could offer a promise, true or not, and we took it because we needed to get away. We didn't question her beyond that.
The barkeep here, his name is Mash or something like that. He too is aware of your comings and goings?
He knows that we come to the inn and we leave it sometimes. He doesn't know where we're going.
He gives you room and board, though, for free?
Well, no. Some of us work there.
The boy who works for Phineas, Tom is his name. Did he hear your meeting with the doctor?
Well, he works or lives in the building. I'm not sure which one, but he's
So he
seen us.
arranged the meeting then?
He did not arrange anything. He opened a door.
That is what heretics do.
Open doors? Literally?
They open the door
with their
to
hands?
chaos and corruption. You of all people should know this.
He opened a door with his hand and led us into a room, and then he shut the door. And then he left to probably go do things that little boys do, like play with toys. I don't know. I don't understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that you, your friends, and everyone whom you have been doing business with are heretics, as you have just admitted to me and my companion here. As that they must...
How have I admitted that?
Self-included. Why, you say that you have been working with and for this Princess of Red Carnage. And that you did nothing to stop her. She offered you protection, which you took. That is against the faith of the Emperor.
She offered us an impossible promise, and we said yes so she would leave us alone, but... All right. You think what you want to think.
I will. Polaris. The Emperor will judge you all.
And it's clear that no matter what I say, you will think anything different, so I'm done with this conversation.
We will find where it is you've been meeting your cultists, and we will put an end to them. You may go for now, but we will be back for all of you, all of your friends. They will not be safe. You will burn at the stake. Good night.
I'd give him like the really long, like, fuck you. And then I'd go inside.
I'm staying outside till they leave.
Yeah, they will leave.
Okay.
If you were to track them, they head to a temple and go inside.
Do they go to Mother Paulina's temple?
They do.
Okay. So Nick is going to be gone for a minute. I'm riding that natural 20.
Yep, totally. So I think Polaris will come back inside in a minute. Yeah, then Nick can join back in as well. So yeah, Charlie and Persephone, two of you come down from the window to meet Polaris. She walks back into the bar.
How did it go?
Not great, Charlie. They don't care what has happened or what hasn't happened or what they think happened. They'll need to be dealt with.
Dealt with?
We should have done my plan.
But now we know that we should have, and we can now.
Alright, I suppose.
They asked about the boy at Dr. Phineas's office, Tom. They think he's a heretic. Of everyone. The little boy.
No. They'll kill him, they'll kill Dr. Phineas and anyone else we've spoken to.
They're awful people.
Charlie,
You have to warn them somehow. What?
I recommend, if you have sentiment in your heart for these people, that you go now and tell them to hide.
Yes, Charlie.
Now.
Alright. Goodbye. I'll meet you back here, I suppose. If I'm not back in an hour, well, I'll know what to do. I walk out. I'm going to run over to Dr. Phineas's office, and if Tom is still there, or if Dr. Phineas is still there.
Yes. Yeah, you should like rap on the door, and by the time it's like 9-10 p.m. So yeah, Tom is like half falling asleep when you rap on the door. Kind of wakes up and gets to the door. Oh hey Charlie.
Hi Tom, is Dr. Phineas in? I'm sorry to stop by twice in the same day.
Yeah, you can come right in. It's pretty late.
Right.
He doesn't have any other visitors.
Yeah. All right. Let me speak with him. And
He opens up the door and yeah, go ahead.
Don't open the door for anyone else for a bit till I'm back out.
Okay. The door opens to Dr. Phineas. Looks with some concern Charlie, I wasn't expecting to see you again so soon.
I have to apologize. I've put you in danger. I haven't spoken a word about you, but there are witch hunters in town, inquisitors, and they assume me and my friends are all involved in some sort of heresy. And truth be told, I can't say that by the eyes of the Emperor that we're not. They are coming, and they are going to come for everyone who I have talked to and that any of us have talked to in the past several days, and you are among those names, and so is Tom, and you need to leave.
Boss. They found you so soon. The book, do you still have it on you?
I do.
That's unwise. I would find somewhere to hide it almost immediately if possible. How much do they know?
I don't think it matters how much they know.
True enough. I have somewhere. I can stay there for a while. It's quiet. I'll take the boy with me. But this will be goodbye for a while, I think.
Understood. And
Yeah. You'll understand if
I am
I'm not
so
keen
sorry.
on telling you the location. Yes. Boy,
Please don't.
pack a bag, an overnight bag. Yes. Son, it's not your fault. The hunters, they are like bloodhounds. Once they get a whiff of heresy, then it'll be onto us forever. What do you intend to do?
I don't know. Fight or run. It's one or the other.
Well, if you're going to fight, then put 2 vials of laudanum in there. Take it. It's no good to me.
Will do. Hope you don't find yourself in need of any anytime soon.
If you kill them, no one must find the bodies. Do you understand?
Burned to a crisp.
I have a friend in the Landgrave office. They're in charge of the disposal of bodies. His name is Martin. He'll help you. Give him your name. Give him my name. He'll understand. And I'll wait a week. If I hear nothing, then I'll remain hidden, but if all is well, and I'll see you again soon.
I hope that is the case. And I hope you rise again, healthy to a city just as healthy.
He's like packing bags as he's talking, stuffing it full of clothes and food, and they're like, yes, Polaris, she uses magic. You must warn her not to use it on the hunters.
Why?
The reading in that book I gave you, the hunters, they are not only immune to it, it will backfire. All repellents.
Backfire.
Yes, and they're protected somehow. I don't know how. Just be careful. A swift blade in the ribs. A knife to the throat. Good luck.
The only way I know how to
If I
fight.
see you again, then we'll celebrate.
Aye. I'll buy you a drink or 10. Good luck.
You too. And he and Tom leave.
Great. I will also leave. As I do so, I'll do a look around and see if there's anyone who is following.
Perception awareness.
Not great. Not great.
Pretty sure no
Not
one's
great at all.
You don't see anyone, but you're in like a panic, you know. So it's like a quick glance, shoot over the shoulder, but yeah. Charlie heads back. Is anyone else doing anything while Charlie is talking to Doc?
I will have re-arrived back at the bar, informed the party where those 2 witch hunters were reported to.
I am rehearsing with Mash exactly what he will tell the 2, just that he suspects that I might be up to something, that he has no proof, and that's why he hasn't told them anything yet.
Yep. I suspicioned it.
Perfect. That's perfect.
And if things get bad, I've got a spear behind the bar.
Right. How are you at fighting, Mash?
I've never fought no mash before, but you know, sometimes you've got to whip it into shape and like.
Those muscles will come in handy. I will send Nick to spar with you in practice.
Right, well, good luck with whatever it is going on. I don't really
God.
get it. But
Help us all. Suspicious.
blessings of the Emperor to you.
And to you.
I would say, hey, Tomb, how about you booby trap our rooms?
He's probably already done it. He's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, let me
think
think
so.
so. Weeks.
He's like,
Yeah. I
sure,
thought
that was
that he-
night 1.
Yeah, probably, but you know, both eyes open. Can't be too careful to ask. I would also suggest, I think, seeing as there is grand opposition against us mounting, perhaps it's time we go talk to Marcus Viridian. Because I don't think that Marcus is particularly on the same boat here as the witch hunters and the rest of the theoretically the Empire, and also has a lot of fight capability. And we can argue that his fight is our fight. I think that that's a next step to go do at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you
wise,
already
Nick.
talked to him. By
Yeah, I will
by all
go.
accounts, the witch hunters should be after him too.
Yeah. Yep, but he's got men and weapons and defenses and money. I think that he's an ally that we need to earn. So our next
Great.
steps are Marcus Viridian, Sir Patrick, or Sir Philip, sorry. Right? I think that we want to... Well, there's 2 different Chapmires, right? The son and the father?
Son is Sir Patrick. The father is Lord Philippe.
Right. Well, we have an inn, as it were, with Sir Patrick. I don't know if it's right to move on anything with Philippe just yet, perhaps through Patrick. Again, they have not arrested us, they've not attacked us. They need something else. I think our first step is we get rid of all of this damning evidence and put it someplace that isn't ours. The other thought that I had is, is to find where Marie lived, and if she is indeed dead, we can put all of our damning evidence there, because they can't torture her anymore if she's already gone.
I don't think they'd care for that. I assume they've already turned up her place, and if they find anything else there, they'll just know someone else put it there.
I mean, if
They
we have
want
any
more
better
blood.
ideas.
Not a dead woman's. No, if we're going to pin I think it's too late to pin someone, honestly.
Yeah, probably. Tomorrow, I also want to take a trip down to the to the house, to Katrine's.
See if she's still...
She's not there. They took her. They have her.
There might be clues.
Yeah. There might be something. Who else do we need to warn that we're dangerous people to have talked to? We want to talk to the dock workers? Do we care about that? They're going to look at our boat.
I think Tomb would probably do that. He seemed pretty
Okay.
connected to Pat. So let's say that Tomb runs off tonight to speak with Pat.
I will tell Tomb that the masks that we retrieved are still hanging from the prow of our boat.
He'll go and cover those up or get rid of them, yeah.
Okay. Yep. Just drop them into the water or off to the side, hide them under some burlap or something.
Yep. Your suspicion is now that they know that you guys are heretics, that they may strike fairly swiftly. So, do you guys want to do anything tonight, knowing where they are? Or
we need to discuss places to hide all of
our stuff.
Yeah.
And ourselves, honestly. I don't know if it's wise to even stay the night here.
I'm not leaving MASH. I will be here if they come for him. I'm sorry.
All right.
It's possible that we should just take our boat and leave this town.
You might be right.
Nick, I hate to say it,
For a
but
while.
that might be the best idea.
To where?
Out of the city for now. We can come back if we need to.
Maybe.
Can you link the map for us?
Yes.
Yeah. Arkenberry would be my... Does the river go to Arkenberry?
The river heads eastwards. You would have to go by horse to Arkenbury, which is to the... Sorry, westwards. Math and directions are hard. Both very difficult concepts for me.
I don't know where the river is in relation to Einem.
Yeah, Einem... Yeah, it runs towards Ostwald. Arkenbury is to the west, so you have to go by horse. I don't know if I said that correctly last time.
But the river heads only to... Like, where's the head of the river? Because Ostwald's the coast.
Yeah, so it runs from Einem to Ostwald. There's no way to take the river anywhere else.
I think that staying in the city for any amount of time might just be a poor plan, because they certainly know where to find us. At least if we're on the boat, if they know where to find us, it's harder to get to. We can...
I'm not going back to Ostwald.
We're not going back to Ostwald. We can't leave this city in the, state that we came to it, with all of these missing pieces now in trouble. Do you think that it would be worth it to talk to Mother Paulina? Polaris?
Didn't you just say that they're staying with them?
They returned to Mother Paulina and the temple.
I think it's not only stupid, it's dangerous to talk to her again.
Certainly dangerous.
They might be lying in
Last
ambush.
time I talked to Mother Paulina. She was disappointed in many of my views, and I don't think she's our ally here.
I agree. Okay, well, I like finding Marcus and talking with Marcus, seeing if we can make an ally there. One of the Chapmeyers, at the very least, making an ally there. Perhaps Tomb has undercity connections here, political roustabouts who can be of some assistance, maybe have safe houses or secret entrances and exits that we can use. We need to gather allies at this point. We need to gather allies to protect us, and then we need to gather allies to take out the castle. But one step at a time.
Okay. So as you guys set about your plans for tonight to avoid the hunters and anyone who may be connected with you, and next on their hit list, I think that's where we'll end tonight's episode of the Blackhearts, as things have ratcheted up for the group. They're going to have to get rid of these witch hunters before they become a really big problem, so that you can continue their investigation in the city. So, whew, that was fun. That's exciting. Fighting the Inquisition, that's also heresy. But hey, at this point, you guys are all heretics. Right. So,
especially this guy.
You're just a barmaid named Hilda.
Right. They can only burn at the stake once, right?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, you can't get multiple life sentences, because a life sentence in Penumbra literally is your life. Being taken from you unceremoniously at the burning stake. But Artemis, thank you so much for the cheer. Woo! Wow. If you guys haven't checked out Zweihander, it's so much fun. Once witch hunters get involved in any medieval setting, you're just gonna lose to the witch hunters. They're bad guys, you know. They just want heretics, and it turns out that pretty much anyone can be a heretic if you think hard enough that they might be a heretic. God bless the Emperor for that. But it's been a really fun episode of the Blackhearts. If you haven't checked out Main Gauche, it's on Drive for RPG on sale at the moment. It's got 68 new professions. It's got ways to actually become a real-life heretic and sell your soul to a demon. So if you want to check that out, definitely go ahead so on Drive for RPG. Let's go around the cast and the crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Let's go in reverse order. Let's start with Speedy tonight. Speedy, how's that tonight for you and Charles?
Oh, man. This was... this is a very stressful episode. We are heretics now. Dr. Phineas, great guy. What?
Oh, you are such a heretic. You're the worst kind of heretic, Polaris, because you were devout, and now you're friends of heretics. Basically, makes you the worst kind of heretic.
Not a heretic.
You're a heretic, and you also threw every other heretic under the bus.
Kind of named and shamed all the other heretics. Yeah, it's all good.
It's fine. It's fine.
When you're burnt at the stake,
you were just naming, not shaming. They did the shaming.
They did the shaming. You did the naming.
Actually, they did the naming and the shaming. You just kind of confirmed the naming, but not the shaming. But they just assumed.
You checked off the names.
It was, oh god, that was a very stressful, man, I don't know how I would have done being in I know Charlie would not have done well to interrogation either, considering how well he's kept Persephone's secret. He is not a good liar. But yeah, really, really interesting episode. Great to hear Phineas is a good dude. Bad to hear that we have now gotten him scared out of town as a heretic. I really liked seeing Persephone / Hilda like interacting in that bar and interacting with the witch hunters. It was really great to see her just sort of flex on everyone.
Sassy lady.
Big flex.
Her being sassy, her bringing out that witch witch bitch. It was great.
That was the 80%.
Yeah, that's the 80%. I can't wait for next week. I want to see what's in this book, man. Maybe that book will just tell us like, oh yeah, the crows are great. Here's a secret passageway out of Einem and directly to Arkenberry where you can
you're all
find refuge with the crows. And the secret word that makes them trust you.
It's all good.
We took a secret tunnel out of Ostwald. There's probably a secret tunnel here in Einem.
There's always secret tunnels.
Wait. Who knew the secret tunnels in Ostwald? Oh, the Blackhearts. The heretics. Exactly. Heretics all know.
Oh, right.
Are the Blackhearts witches? I think they might be witches.
They might be.
Couldn't tell you, man.
Everyone's a witch here.
I'd be a heretic if I told you. So.
Oh god, it's starting. This is 2019 chart.
This is how it works.
We do not need a new Salem. Come on.
Man, I'm just a short train right away. Yeah, no, this is awesome. Can't wait for next week. This is, man, I love it. I love it all. As for me, I'm Speedy. You can find me over Not So Speed Runs on Twitch and Twitter and everything. I'll be at PAX East. If any of you are going to be there, come hang out, say hi, whatever. And you can also check out Cast Together, which is a community of streamers for mental health on Twitch. You can check out the Twitter at Cast Together and join our super supportive Discord server. That's it. Thank you.
Yes.
I love you all.
Lydia, how was that tonight for you and Polaris? Polaris, you big heretic.
Polaritic!
Polaritic! I didn't realize what I did. That was amazing.
Well, don't make me feel worse than I already feel.
You massive heretic.
He's rubbing off on you, it seems.
Listen, Polaris she feels bad, but she didn't know what she was doing. She shouldn't be interrogated by those people.
It's true.
I'm so sorry. Anyways, I had a great time, and I'm sorry for next week, but I'm also looking forward to it.
Fantastic. And where can we find you online as well?
You can find me at Twitter at CastleMacLydia, and then there you can find me on my Twitch channel, which is with my family at CastleMac. On Twitch, we play Dungeons and Dragons in my basement, real life, around a table with real dice.
Real life heretic.
Real life heretic rolling real dice. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Basements are usually where heretics hide, so that makes sense.
Oh, I feel so bad. Skip me. I don't deserve it.
You did great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
No, it's
You're
awesome.
just playing how Polaris would do in that situation, which is apparently not
know.
well.
I wrote the NPCs to be the assholes of the world, so yeah, it's all good. They're bad guys. They're bad guys.
All tonight.
They're the bad guys, but they're good at being the bad guys. So you know,
Right.
gotta give them some credit. They're good at
I
their
should
job.
have shut down my paper.
Ruben, how was that tonight for you and Nick?
That was great. Man, there's so many moving parts. I'm trying to keep track of everything. The other thing that I want to make sure that we do next week is we need to do a little bit of shopping. Armor up, weapon up. I exchanged my thing, but now that you've got some money there, Nick, or Charlie, maybe we should, particularly if magic ain't going to work against these Inquisitors, we got to get some bows, throw some bows around maybe. That was awesome. I had a great time. A new villainous force that we can't really interact with just yet. We don't even know who to interact with just yet. I need Danny and Tomb to come back to be able to help us figure out who's an ally and gain some insight into that. So this has been lovely and really entertaining, particularly me as Nick, the social character, being in the two scenes where Persephone and then Polaris took over. It was awesome. That was spectacular. Hi everyone, I'm the internet's Ruben Bressler. You can follow me everywhere at MOXREUBY. Please tune in to twitch.tv/Saving Throw Show tomorrow for Saving Throw Show Spring Break. 12 hours of RPG content starting at 9 a.m. Pacific. And helps support the channel that hosts my show and produces my show, which is Monday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, which is Ravnica the Broken Pact, one of the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica shows on twitch.tv/DND.
Fantastic. And Doxy, how's that tonight for you?
Oh, howdy. It was really, really good. I like being a bitch. I don't like being a bitch in real life, but it's pretty fun in a game. Those NPCs might be the bad guys, but Persephone is the worst guy. So I can't wait to outsmart them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm Zero Doxy. You can find me on the internet. Here, just click my name. I'll do an arrow and then a heart that is also a butt that is farting.
Yeah. Can you do that for me too?
What was that?
Yeah, just click that and hit follow and be disgusted by who I am as a person.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, thank you guys for going over today. It's always an adventure, always a journey with the Blackhearts. Can't wait for next week's episode. We should have the full cast back with us tomorrow. I'll have had a chance to read through the main Gauch stuff, so we'll have some more demonic packs ready, waiting for the party next week, and that's going to be exciting. Goodness, what's happening tomorrow? I don't know, the channel is streamed for like 9 hours on a Saturday, so we'll see you starting at 5 p.m. Eastern for Shadow of the Demon Lord. So that's when we'll see you guys next. I'm very much looking forward to that. But in the meantime, my friends, try not to sell out all of your friends as heretics to the witch hunters, because we'll be trying to make you feel bad about yourself when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye. Oh, I'm the worst.